Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Telling It Like It Is. After a 3-week hiatus, I'm excited to be back. A little world tour of Austin, Fort Worth, Dallas, Toronto, Innovation Week in Calgary. A lot of great things going on. The one thing I want to touch base on is next week, Thursday, we are having our third Empowering Innovators mental wellness course for entrepreneurs. It is virtual, so you can sign up wherever you are. The link will be posted here shortly, but again, check it out. And we'll probably even dive into a little bit of this conversation today because I am excited about this conversation. It's long overdue. Having some fellow Saskies on here is always a privilege for me. So Kelly and Dirk, the founders of Immigrate, how are you today?
I'm great. It's a beautiful, lovely weather in Saskatoon in December.
Very good, buddy. Very good.
Isn't that the truth? Talking about the beautiful. I mean, yesterday it was 16 here. Like,
I mean, we hit 7, so unheard of usually in December for here, but yeah, lovely. I wear sandals.
oh, I wear sandals all winter anyway. But I mean, the only thing that does suck, and I'm not going to lie, is we need some mountains for the snow. So we want to get some skiing in this year, maybe.
I mean, I just read an article and it's like the farmers are concerned there won't be enough spring melt for their crops next year. So it's like, oh, they never stop complaining.
Well, I have my cousins still farm and my uncle still farm. So yeah, I get that. Every time we're at Good Spirit Lake, they're like, they're never happy. And I mean that in a good way, of course. But I want to start diving in here because I really love, I mean, we've known each other for a while. I've come out to Uniting the Prairies, a lot of great things there. And I mean, we've had, like any entrepreneurs, you've got a fantastic story. So why don't we kick it off with, telling us why and how you founded Immigrate?
Well, yeah. I've been in the immigration industry since 2006 and started my own firm in 2007. When I started that, I had a platform called SaaS Job Cafe, and I made a community platform for matching employers to employees internationally. And that was kind of my first kick at the can. 2010, I gave signp.com a try, which was an application center for Saskatchewan. So that was my first attempt at what we're doing right now. And, it went all right. Had a little bit of a hiccup along the way. And then around 2014, we tried doing a Canada job cafe, which didn't really turn out as well as we wanted. But the immigration practice was, kind of on cruise control. We didn't do any marketing. It was all referral based because we gave great service and had a really good standard operating procedure on how to do the process well. And for a lot of applications, because we had technology backing it. And then in 2017, the government changed their name from Citizenship and Immigration Canada to IRCC. So we bought their name and thought that was pretty clever. So we thought, well, let's give it another kick of the can here. We learned a lot the first time, and so I gave the government a call, and sure enough, they're like, yeah, no, sounds good. Just don't look like us, and we definitely learned that the first time too, so that's good. And then we rebranded to Immigrate in the beginning of 2021, I believe, and ever since it's been going, it's been a rocket ship. And in May this year, I stepped down as CEO, and Kelly stepped up, and she's taken us to new heights as she built a new platform for probably the 4th or 5th time, and built it right, and she's made us profitable. So she's really cracked the whip on her books and procedures, and taken her background and put her stamp on things.
Oh, I love that. Kelly, can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, so I started my career in project management in the environmental consulting world, which many good U of S grads do. We land in environmental consulting, and I really took to project management. It's like resource allocation, finances, project deadlines. It was putting a puzzle piece together, and also very highly regulated. You have many, many laws that you have to comply with to make sure you're good. And as Dirk's, in immigration, we're building the company. I'm involved on the sidelines. It's like there's just so much I could do here. So in 2019, I quit my proper job and joined the company. It's like, what can we do to make things really fit together? How can we really put our customers at the forefront? How can we take all this dev resources that we have, customer insights, and expertise in the immigration field? How can we put that all together and make a really good product? And I find that's where my key skills sit. I can see a lot of different pieces, put them together, and make sure that we make a good machine that rolls. And it's the challenge is really quite fun. And in I was running product, really trying to understand all the different journeys that our clients are going to take. What does the journey of a Canadian employer look like while they're going through immigration? What does the journey of the foreign worker look like? What does the journey of a legal RCIC look like? What does the journey of automations, where can we make that process just so much simpler? And how can we really ensure that the data is handled carefully along the way? And it was a really fun puzzle to put together. And then in May, I was like, I'm looking for another challenge. And CEO has been not an easy challenge to take on by any means, because now there's HR, people and culture, there are finances, gross profit margins, fundraising. Are you EBITDA positive? I didn't even know what EBITDA meant a year ago. And so there's just so much to learn, but I have a lot of really wonderful people who have been helping me, especially Dirk. He's like, I'm here to support you. I mean, we're partners, right? Partners in life, partners in business. So our skills complement each other really well. And I know that I always have his support to help me on the next challenge, on the next journey.
Now, before I get into your business, I mean, I know we had, I always love having a conversation before, because you get to have these authentic conversations. And when you said you took over the CEO role, and we talked a little bit about you joining tech, and Dirk, you're an EO. And again, that's one of the reasons why I founded Founders Coffee, is to have that kind of forum for entrepreneurs to meet. So why don't you talk a little bit about how hard it was, Dirk, to maybe it wasn't difficult, maybe I'm phrasing this wrong, but to say, you know what, I can't be the CEO anymore. I think it'll be better suited for Kelly, and I'll be able to do things, that way that will, propel our business forward.
Well, that's a great question. Really, one of the issues that we had is that I'm a leading immigration expert in Canada. It was tough to shake the label that we're an immigration company, and we're not, right? We're a software company that is a service-enabled platform that facilitates immigration by matching with experts across Canada, and really helping the enterprises control their data and have access to their data at all times, and know exactly when their labor units are arriving. So it really was kind of seen the light, so to speak. And I was like, okay, we need a new voice. We need a new direction. I've been at it for 5 years. I've taken it to where I've been able to take it. But Kelly was building a new platform, and the new platform was about to go live. She knew it best. She understood the nuances. She took my vision and really made it a reality. And I thought it was the right fit to have the person that built that product take my vision and what I've wanted my whole career into the future. And I couldn't think of anybody better than somebody that started it from the bottom up, learned every single nuance of the business, knew every intricacy of it, and heard me talking about it all the time, to really take it to the future. And she's done a phenomenal job. So I couldn't be more proud.
That's awesome. I mean, sometimes it's hard. I mean, I sit in a lot of meetings where somebody says, I don't really want to give up that role, give up that title, so to say. Right. So, I mean, I love it. And I mean, obviously it's been a great transition. So, tell us a little bit about that, Kelly.
So I really came into the company as like, I got to learn as much as I can. And I'm by nature a very curious person. If there's a button to press, I'm going to press the button. If there's something to look for, I'm going to look for. If there's a drawer that's closed, I'm going to open it and say, what's inside there? So I started by just mucking around in everybody's business. I ruffled everybody's feathers. And coming into CEO, well, it's like, well, there's more drawers to look into. There's more buttons to press. So I'm pretty analytical and very rational with most things in my life. So I wrote a list. What am I good at? What am I not good at? And what are things that I just don't know? And the first thing I knew was a weak point for me was really understanding the financial section of the business. And Startup TNT referred us to a great CFO, and I started meeting with her 3 times a week. It's like, let's dig into the core of a business, because if you're running a business, whether it is tech or engineering or a brick and mortar bookstore, at the end of the day, you are a business and you're there to make money. And you have to make sure you understand what your costs are, what your margins are. And I didn't understand any of those terms. So I thought, well, the nature of the software industry has changed. We're going to make my number one mission is to make us profitable and give the investors we have a return on their money. They have helped us by giving us money, and we're going to work forward and make some big changes and really dial it in and hold every single person in our company accountable. We're all stewards of other people's money when you're taking some investment from somebody. And my idea was, okay, let's really dig into what we have. And it's like, all right, I don't understand finances as well. I'm going to learn this and not do it myself because I'm the CEO. I can't do everything myself, but understand what I need to know and make sure my team understands what I want and what our goals are, and work with a CFO who can tell me, hey, these are the things that are important at your stage of the company and where your company's at right now. And these are the things these are what our aspirations should be. And it was nice to know that, it's not that we were doing anything wrong. It was just there's always improvements to be made, and you don't know what you don't know. So learning from the CFO was really lovely. About a year ago, we brought on a COO to really help manage and execute some more pieces of the business. And I've gotten to know Michael really well. He's helping us, and he complements my skills. I'm a little bit quirky and creative in some of my problem solving, and so he's a little bit more, we need to do this to get this rolling. Like, stop thinking so much and let's push, go. So that's really, really nice. And then meanwhile, I have Dirk here helping me remember. He's like, just because you're focusing on profitability and finance, remember all these other areas that you're great at. I was like, okay. So it's having a lot of really wonderful people on my team reminding me, like, let's worry about what are you doing this week, and really helping me plan my work week, plan my month, plan my time. And that's been, really thinking about what am I good at? What can I delegate? Who else in my company are great at different things? And what skills of theirs can I lean on? And so that has been a wonderful learning curve, just learning more about the wonderful skills people in my company have, and how I can utilize them to the best of all our advantages.
I'm very curious too, and I still think to this day that my tongue won't stick to that metal. Um, every time I'm on a ski hill going up, I'm like, maybe. So
It's like, do I need more spit? Do I need
maybe, right?
something
I
else?
think
Like,
I
can
can
we
do it this
experiment?
time. 51 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah.
Dumb and Dumber. But
You would.
oh, but yeah, and I love that answer, right? And you've got out there, you asked for help. Obviously, Startup TNT, as you know, I've helped and I've been part of. I invested there, ambassador, and what Zack and Tim has done, and Jesse, of course, in Saskatchewan has created it's been absolutely outstanding. And I always say the people you're going to meet through Startup TNT is going to be way more valuable than any money you may receive, and I love that. And I've been able to watch you guys grow over that time, because of the summit, and that's been summits, and that's how we were introduced. So why don't you kind of, share a little bit about your process, about Immigrate and how it works?
So what we are ultimately is we are a software platform that's designed to make your life easier. We're all about efficiencies, automations, and Canadian employers, they're suffering labor shortages. They don't have extra time to manage and do yet another thing. And as a CEO, I can totally relate to that. They're like, oh, you need to start doing this. It's like, oh, where am I going to eke out that extra time? So we're a platform designed to make sure we're saving them time, giving them all the access to the data and everything they need. So they come to us, they have a problem. It's a labor shortage, whether it be in hospitality, construction, manufacturing, engineering roles, accounting. No matter what the role, the process is the same. You get a job description, we help them understand what they qualify for, what their options are, and they're always in full control. It's not, there is no hard sell. It's, this is what you can do. What would you like to do? And here's how we can help you. And it's all in one nice, easy platform, and they can manage the whole process. We take a few hours of their time, they pick the right professional, and their jobs are launched out to internationally. So they're not forced to choose one place or another. And we advertise locally. So if there are, underemployed Canadians, we target specific groups so that we can try and help solve immediate needs at the same time as we're planning for the long term. Because they have two problems. They have a long-term problem in stability. They have a short-term problem in, I don't know what to do today. My store might not be open. So we try and solve that. And then, of course, the individuals come. And we want to make sure that all those foreign nationals, they're guaranteed the same control and the same security that the employers are. So it's a two-sided marketplace that really allows everybody to make their own decisions. They learn the options, and we house all the data safely, securely. We make sure everything is automated. The data moves with you. You fill out your information once, and every additional application that is required, your data's there. We have a single source of truth. We monitor you. We have an activity feed. You know who is doing what and when. So it really takes away complicated spreadsheets. You're like, oh, who updated this last? Is this the most recent version? It takes away the insecurity of sharing a passport through email.
Yeah, we call it stop the spread. Stop the spreadsheets, right?
Yeah.
Stop the spreadsheets.
It was a game changer when we figured out that we're in a service-enabled platform, right? 90% of business owners, they're 20%, 20 people or less. They wear all the hats. They work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. They don't have time to do all this. They don't have time to learn all the changes. And what they want is someone just to take it over and do it for them. And what we have that opportunity with them, with experts in every province for every type of application that they get matched with. They control all their data. Everything's done through a standard operating procedure that we've developed over the last 17 years. And it's all set up for them to basically have everything that they need. Handheld with a 5-star service attached, which that's what they want. And, we have a tiny marketing budget, but we keep on growing. And it's mainly through referrals. So again, and that's how I grew my practice before. And that's how we've been growing again is, one person gets one great experience, they always tell more people. And that's how we've been continuously growing on repeat. And we had a platform that was breaking because we put too much revenue in it. And that's why we had to rebuild it. Because we couldn't keep up with the demand. And, this year is the first year that we actually have a platform that's not going to break, that has unlimited capacity to do up to 25,000 applications, do 60,000 consultations, and help anybody anywhere in the world get expert help and disrupt the industry internationally, and help all the companies in Canada that have a labor shortage, no matter what their size is. We can do the largest enterprises in Canada and help them control all their data, get everything done with a 5-star service. And we've been successful doing that with multiple $100 million companies where one person's been able to do the whole process themselves as a part-time job, not even a full-time job.
No, I love that. And I'm obviously pulling all that knowledge from your prior to bring into this. And of course, I'm talking with Kelly and Dirk, founders of Immigrate. If you want to find out more information about it, just click on the link in the comments section. Their website is immigrate.biz. So, I mean, you said 100,000, you could do big, huge enterprises, but I want to kind of, what type of clients are you looking for? If somebody's out here and saying, hey, you know what, I know somebody that's struggling with this, and they're looking at, potentially bringing in, immigrant workers into what's the process that usually has to go with this, and what type of how small of a business are they able to help?
We can help any size business. We know the strategies, we know the changes. The first step always is to understand all your options and know, basically get informed. That's the most critical piece to the whole puzzle, is know what your options are and know what you qualify for. Then you can make a decision with what's best for your business. Okay. So I think that's a pretty critical piece. And once they know what they qualify for, Kelly's made a product that's one click away from actually moving forward with and making it super simple to get moving. And once they get started, it's an onboarding. And in that onboarding, we get them all set up, get them set up properly to the point that we hold their hands right through to the end. And then they control their data and track everything, so they know when their labor units are going to be arriving. And that's ultimately what people want, is know, what's happening, when it's happening, and when their people when they're going to have some bums in seats.
Yeah.
And that's the key point, like, you're running a business, maybe you're a small business, you have 8 staff, and you're like, okay, I need this role. I have been advertising for this role for years. They come, they go, and our team doesn't give you a hard sell. It's just, what do you need? It's really a needs assessment to understand what their goals are, what talent do they need. Sometimes people think, oh, I just need this really senior role. And we chat with them and we're like, you know what, actually, maybe what you need is a laborer instead. Like, oh, you know what, that would really be great, because I have a foreman and we just can't find the right person. And so we help them really understand what type of role do they need for their company in our first needs assessment call. And then we say, hey, this is what you could do. You could, bring in somebody highly skilled to help upskill your team, or you can bring in someone, to really contribute to your manufacturing, or drive the grain truck, or what have you, depending on what industry it is. But we don't make them choose. We just say, what do you need today? And what role are you looking for? And sometimes we even help them craft that job description if that's what they need, and say, hey, here you go. And if they can find somebody local first, then we all win, right? So yeah. It's about understanding what they want today, tomorrow, and in the years to come.
Yeah, we've worked with some of the largest businesses. They have the ability to actually control and have like a holdings company, as an example, can have multiple businesses underneath it, have different locations underneath it, and they can have a group of 50 to 100 companies essentially across Canada, multiple, few hundred employees, or even up to 1,000 employees, no problem. And then they can track it all and know exactly what's going on. And our system tells them when things are expiring and gives them the reminders, so they don't have to, get that surprise that, oh, hey, by the way, Jade can't work tomorrow because he forgot to renew something, or we forgot to do something. That's something that can be stopped, right?
No, absolutely. And I love the fact that it's not only tech, but you bring your old school business in there, and as almost as consultants, saying, hey, like, let's talk about this. Let's make sure you get what you write, rather than just trying to funnel people. You're making sure that the decision that is being made, and the person, if they can't find a local that you are bringing in, will be the best suited for the company.
Yeah. And it's not, we are software. We build really great automation tools and automate a lot of those like magic moments and the milestones of when you need to be notified. Our product does that, but a lot of people in the market, they're just exhausted of yet another subscription service that I'm going to have to manage completely by myself, because that doesn't solve the actual need that they have. Does a software tool, is it what they need? Perhaps, yes, in the majority of times, but they need somebody like customer success to help them, to guide them along the way a little bit. And it's not a lot. It's not a traditional firm where you're very, very people heavy and it's unmanageable, but it's just, key little reminders, key touch points that just go, oh, peace of mind. Because that's what HR manager running, managing 200 people needs, or owner of a small business, they're like, just bring it top of mind again, please. Like, just help me out, make it quicker and easier.
And the peace
And
of
that's what
mind
we
for me
do.
is that we don't have to do immigration.
Also that.
Exactly, right?
We have experts everywhere to do it for people, and they do it, right? And now I'm more of a coach, right? As the president of the company, I can now coach the consultants. We have a community of the consultants that know what's going on, and they're experts, and they have to meet specific criteria to get into the platform. And I'm more of a coach now and a teacher than anything, and it's a nice place to be.
No, I love that. I love that. And I mean, I know we have, the obvious industries, hotel or restaurants or things like that. But are there any industries, you mentioned farming, obviously that type of thing. Is there anything that we wouldn't think of that, if somebody's listening to saying, hey, oh yeah, I never thought of that.
Well, we're trying to get into health. There's a healthcare crisis going on, and our platform actually solves that problem. But you really have to know the right people to get into those industries to get that warm introduction. And if there's a warm introduction out there that somebody's watching, that's a big one for us. Same with the vet industry. That's another one that we're very interested in solving those problems. We have the ability to do credential assessment applications with our platform, with an advanced intake system for bringing the applicants in. So we're all set up to tackle the problem. But we need some early adopters to say, you know what, let's give these guys a try, and let's solve the problem, and let's make a difference. We don't need to have long wait lines in hospitals, and we don't have to have a nursing shortage where there's some of the hospitals closed. That doesn't have to happen. There's enough people that want to come to Canada, and we're creating strategic partnerships internationally so that we can build those talent pools, as well as through our marketing tactics that we built. So we can actually find those people without question, put them into the intake system, and then make it a fast and easy process to really understand where the people are at during the process of getting credentials assessed, where the work permits are at when they're arriving, and then when the family's coming. So I think it's a pretty critical piece, because when you're bringing people over, there's two parts to it. There's the obtaining people, and then there's the retaining people, and a lot of people forget the retaining part.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, and I like that. I mean, I think those are industries that should be tackled, and there are a lot of solutions that are there that you can help solve. So I do love that. Now, speaking about moving forward, and those things that you can solve, what's next for Immigrate?
Our goal, like any other young company, is to see solid profit. So at the end of our fiscal year, we're going to be profitable, and we're moving into new markets. So we have launched what we call our business stream. So there's a lot of the demographics in Canada have changed, and now there's a lot of companies owners who are older, they're retiring, and traditionally they may have passed their company on to children, but their children don't necessarily want to take on their parents' company. So we're working with international strategic partners to help find the foreign buyers to take over these companies. So whether it be through, a foreign owner coming in, working with the company and taking it over, or other foreigners who are ready to start up their own ventures in Canada, because there's more than one way to come to Canada and actualize that dream. So we're really helping connect foreigners with businesses in Canada to start up their own or take over new ones.
Well, I like that. I think that's great. Dirk, anything to add?
I think Kelly put it pretty well. We're definitely at the point of scaling up. Having the new platform and having the ability to run as much revenue through it as possible is a big opportunity for us. Looking to get into other verticals, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
But you're just taking it day by day. We've had quite the wild ride to date, and as you've followed and you've seen, and it's just nice to have that Ferrari in the garage that you can take out for cruises now, because you finally have what you've dreamed of. We have the product to support to the service that we can provide, which is something I've always wanted.
No, that's awesome. And again, anybody wants to check it out, Immigrate website is in the comment section. Just click on it. It'll take you directly there. I'm always sad when these conversations are coming to an end because we could probably talk forever and probably even solve some more problems, I'm guessing. But, this question I thought would be one that would go away after about episode 10. But I just hear so much great advice and so many great things from so many unbelievable entrepreneurs. So, Kelly, I'm going to have you start. If you had one piece of advice for a startup or entrepreneur, what would that be?
Ask for help from day one. You will never, if you never ask, you'll never get what you want. So if you don't ask, you're definitely not going to get. So just ask, ask for help from a lawyer, finance person. You would be surprised how many people are out there willing to offer their help if you just simply say, please.
Love it. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Yes. Dirk, yourself?
I'm kind of on the same boat there. I'm a big believer in mentoring and mentorship, and surrounding yourself with great people is one of the biggest ways to be successful. Learning from other people's mistakes, so you don't make those same mistakes, is a key to being a successful entrepreneur. The next thing that I'd probably mention is have a work-life balance. Without having work-life balance, you can burn out pretty quick. And I highly recommend anybody to take Jade's course here, because mental health is a really important thing when you're running a business, and you can kind of lose sight of it because you always have something to do. So having that work-life balance and kind of setting those, standards for yourself, that like at 5 o'clock, I got to shut down. If I want to restart at 9, go for it. Right. But making sure that you have those breaks, especially if you have kids. Time flies real quick and you don't want to lose those moments. So make sure that you have time for your family and have that self, family, and work-life balance.
Oh, I mean, it's just two unbelievable answers. And then, I stress that enough. Even myself, I have my squash game scheduled into my calendar during the week to get away, to make sure I play, to get to the gym, and obviously spend time. Like even last night on, probably threw 400 pitches to the girls and for batting practice, right? Again, you have to have that. And I always call it my me time. I need that time, right? My wife needs her time. Mine is sports. Hers is more meditation and other things and stuff like that. And it's such an important thing because, as we mentioned before, your business is only as healthy as the founders. And I know we talked about that and you can relate, and a lot of people can relate. No, those are great answers. And again, I really do appreciate you guys coming on, sharing your story, sharing your knowledge, and it's awesome. And it's been an unbelievable, from kind of the sidelines to watch what you guys have been doing. And I've been admiring you for a while. So to have the opportunity to chat with you it's been my pleasure.
Well, it goes right back at you. I've been following you for a long time, and I admire you. So it's we're very honored that you invited us, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah,
no,
thank
absolutely.
you very much.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. And again, for anybody who wants to check out that Thriving Minding course, it's, we partnered with Collectively Tangled. Sarah and Kira are unbelievable facilitators. This one is accepting rejection. It's going to be virtual. Check it out. The link is in the comment section. Again, Kelly, Dirk, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your knowledge and story today. And, chances are I'll probably see you at Uniting the Prairies.
Yeah, we look forward to it.
Me too. And I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, and we